iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome in, race fans, to the Nashville Speedway here tonight for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Short Track Scrambler Series here for Red Light Racing. We're back here. It's the late model stocks here tonight that will be playing the music around the famous Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. We're not running that little track down there, although we wish we were rubbing, banging, and, well, doing a couple laps around that. We got the big track, the half-mile track here tonight in these late model stock machines. We're out running right around the 19 to 20-second bracket for lap times here tonight, so we're going to see some very quick side-by-side racing. And I say side-by-side because this track is definitely wide enough in the corners to run 2 and even 3 wide racing. The straightaway, though, well, out of turn number 2, it does get a little narrower than the front straightaway. Watch for turn 2 here tonight on Nashville to be a little bit of a problem for some of these drivers. So we'll see which one can conquer here tonight at the Nashville Fairgrounds. AJ Hamill was able to pick up a win a couple weeks back. He is actually the driver that is on top of the point standings. When you look at it, it's AJ Hamill over Michael Trevarthen, Dalton Williamson, and Aiden Alvecchio, and Bob Higgins sitting there 5th overall in the championship standings after a couple weeks of racing here. Keep an eye out on those to be shuffled up here tonight because there's some big hitters in the field here tonight that could take down some of the drivers here and, well, claim a win with the series. Qualifying in the books already here tonight on Thursday night. So that means here tonight it is going to be time for the Six Rings Racing starting lineup. Starting on the front row here tonight, snagging the pole, it is going to be the driver out of Florida driving the Rev Esports number 2. This will be Michael Trevarthen. To his outside, car number 2 to be Brian Hacker out of Illinois. And then back in row number 2, the number 31, the Jiffy Lube injury, that is going to be Dave Bragg. Back and forth, Dalton Williamson with Rex Hoyle in car number 54. He'll start 5th. 6th, then we'll go to the 989 of Scott Duncan. He'll start 6th, while 7th. Arnold Vowles in car number 51 will start 7th. Dan Murphy Jr. with a great qualifying effort here tonight at the Fairgrounds. He'll start car number 41 in 8th. 9th then will be to the landing strip himself. Car number 13, MA, Joshua Buckley, driving the Granny Hips Walkers and Canes entry. 10th then, the aging hipster, car 73, Philly Edwards. Back into the 11th spot, the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Higgins Hill Racing car number 40, powered by Busch Latte. That'll be Rob Higgins. Back into the 12th starting spot, the driver who's more confused than anybody here tonight. He drives the car number 18. That'll be A.J. Hamill there in car number 12. Back into the 13th starting spot here tonight. Driving the number 33 out of the racing school, this will be Mike Taschereau, the Turtle. Back into the 14th spot, it's the Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe, number 14. That'll be Brian Bianchi. A.J. Watkins out of Florida will start 0-1 into the 15th starting spot here tonight. Back into the 16th starting spot, the driver out of Richmond, Virginia, driving car number 99. That'll be Mark Jenkins. How about Trey Betts in car number 9? He'll start 17. This driver making his first ever start with the series, car number 5. Greg June will pilot the car number 5. He'll start 18th. Well, how about Brandon Feeney, car number 39. The Beefy Motorsports entry will go 19th on the call here tonight. 20th will be the fan favorite of Aiden Alvecchione in the 271. Back into the 21st spot, the racing school number 21 of Dan the Store Magnet Butler. Eric Stout, the part-time driver in car number 12, will start 22nd. Chris Stump out of Ohio in the 98 Ohio will start 23rd. Steve McCormick, car number 70, will go 24th on the call. The number 98 of Stephen Dickey Jr. will start 25th, while the Checkered Flag Auto Supply celebrating 20 years. This is car number 30 of Bob Higgins. He'll go 26th. And the part of the Canadian Invasion, number 26, the Big Bruce Customs, 26 of Dennis Bruce, will start 27th. That's the starting lineup here tonight at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. We're ready to go racing. 100 laps will go on the board. The green flag is up here at Nashville. We are racing to turn 1. Great start by Brian Hacker, but will he be able to complete the pass as they work down the back straightaway? He'll nose ahead into turn 3. Will he come out in turn number 4 with the race lead? He will not, but there comes the power. It'll be Brian Hacker at the line. He'll lead lap number 1. So Hacker will lead lap number 1, working the outside, but now the inside for Michael Trevarthen. Sideways for Trevarthen. Trevarthen was sideways out of turn number 2. Now he'll drift up the track a little bit. A little paint rubbing here in 3 and 4. Hacker still pulls the power down on the outside. Side by side still for the race lead. Dalton Williamson has snuck there into the 3rd spot. Dave Bragg back to 4th. He'll take a bid to the inside on that PK Paints number 1 machine. Not going to be able to do it. Now, though, Michael Trevarthen will nose ahead here on lap number 3. Good battle for the race lead. Everybody else has gone single file already here tonight at the Fairgrounds. Pretty much up to these two to decide who is going to take command of this race here. That time, Hacker back around the outside at the line. Doesn't seem like either one of these drivers really have a big advantage here tonight early on in this one. This is just chewing up somebody's tires. We're seeing the long run here tonight. Which one of these drivers are going to slow the pace later on? Right now, Mr. Feelgood, 4 fresh rubbers on each one of these cars here tonight. Not seeming like they're giving up just yet. Give that lap back to Hacker. A.J. Hamill a little deeper into the field, making up some ground. He's already picked up 4 spots. Oh, Hacker into the outside all that time. We told you out of turn number 2 is where we were going to see the problems here tonight. And right there, the driver out of Huntley, Illinois, making a little contact. Brian Hacker falling back on the outside. He's creeping into Dalton, or Dalton Williamson is creeping into the inside, I should say. Was not quite able to get it done on that inside. Brian Hacker once again making the outside lane work early here. Look at everybody just stacked up, though, behind the race leaders. Riding on board with Trevarthen, who's down on the inside lane. Hacker making the outside work, and he'll nose ahead again down in 3 and 4. Dave Bragg is still continuing to sit there in the Jiffy Lube entry. Hacker again shown as the race leader. The outside just rolling very well for the driver out of Huntley, Illinois. Will we see any other driver go to the outside to make some passes here tonight? The battle's already raged on for over 10 laps at the front of the field. Contact a little bit. Trevarthen got a little tight off the corner into the quarter panel of Brian Hacker. Hacker will now officially take the race lead here tonight and take command on lap number 12. A.J. Hamill in the Arts Barbershop entry, going to go under Dan Murphy Jr. Murphy up the track, and hang on to her, Dan Murphy Jr. Josh Buckley. Around goes the 41. Mike Taschereau also rolling away with smoke bellowing out of the back end of car number 33. So the first caution flag tonight here at Nashville will fly in Dan Murphy Jr.'s car number 41. Rolling away very slowly, smoke out the back of the 41. Mark Jenkins involved, Joshua Buckley involved. Watch the 41. See, the little contact sends him up the speedway and it just cannot regain control. Taschereau nowhere to go. Right on board. You're riding on board with the 99 of Mark Jenkins. Watch the 33. Taschereau will have nowhere to go. Bam! And same with Jenkins. So call it 4 cars involved here in the wreck to put us under the first caution flag of the evening. Brian Hacker now has command of this race lead. The question being, will he choose the inside or outside lane on the restart? Eric Stout is the biggest mover so far in the Six Rings Racing number 12. Part-time Eric, I was notified, will not be here next week, so the part-time gig still in play for Eric Stout. Looking to have a good run here tonight before taking a week off from the series. Joshua Buckley in the 13MA is back out onto the racetrack. He did make a pit stop to check the toe on the number 13, and they put him back out onto the track. You can definitely see the right front fender is a little wonky on car number 13. We'll see if that car comes up to song and dance. One car coming back out onto the raceway. That'll be the 99 of Mark Jenkins. So Jenkins will catch the tail. Dennis Bruce in car number 26 did not make the call to the grid here tonight, so we actually only started 26 out of the 27 drivers. Pace car in, though. That means here we're getting ready to go 2x2 as they come back here into the restart zone. Green flag is up. Hacker choosing the outside lane once again on the restart. See if it prevails again, and it looks like it will. He should be able to clear. Oh, sideways. Dalton Williamson. Williamson was sideways off. I believe Dave Bragg was there. Williamson tried to insert himself, and it got all sorts of out of shape off the bumper of the 31. And now Williamson to the outside here as Bragg is down to the inside. Big scuffle for position just behind these drivers. Erickson Williamson getting back around. Brian Bianchi back here into the 12th position. Excuse me, that is actually the Rex Oil car number 54 up the speedway. the two team cars there, car 54 and the 14, both riding the high line around the speedway here. And then Eric Stout going to go way, way high. I didn't know Kyle Larson was driving that car. Oh, and he'll find himself into the wall, got pinched up there by the number 98 of Dickey Jr. There you can see a lot of rub marks. You can see the open wheel fenders now on car number 12. How much damage is really done to that car. We just saw Mike Taschereau going to the outside wall, very similar, and his car was pretty much destroyed. Stout now trying to come back on the 98 of Dickey Jr. Just behind them, rookie number 5. That is Racer X. There you see June in car number 5 to the outside. Brandon Feeney down to the bottom side of the speedway. That Liquid Molly entry trying to pick up some spots here. He's already been able to pick up 2 spots tonight. For more. Trey Mitz just out in front of this group. Just looked like he maybe caught a little piece of the outside wall out of 4. You can see the damage to the Rent-A-Girlfriend number 9. And now Dickey Jr. into the outside wall off turn number 2. These drivers are all finding the outside wall here. Pushing as hard as they can in their late model stock machines. Brian Hacker still the race leader. As he'll come across the line, it's Hacker, Trevarthen, Williamson, Bragg, and Hamill. The top 5 drivers here tonight. 25 laps have been completed. 20 out of 25 have been led by Brian Hacker. Good shots all around the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway here tonight. Listen to these drivers all sing a pretty tune with their right foot. Stout for going into the outside wall not too long ago. Still been able to hold pace with Stephen Dickey Jr. Can't find a way back around the number 98, though, as he'll dive it down into the corner. Maybe the 3-tap Teddy rule here. Riding on board with Stout. Stout will look to the inside here in turn 1. And contact. Around, gonna go. No, Stephen Dickey Jr. will save it. Good driving by Dickey Jr. as he hangs on to that number 98. He'll try to get back to the bottom. He'll squeeze his way in there. So he's gonna go from running 13th back to 17th with a heck of a save. To save that car. Trey Mitz into the outside wall out of 2 again. Trey Mitz having some handling issues. Brandon Feeney looking to the inside. Now here comes Dickey Jr. looking to the inside of Racer X. A lot of good racing. We told you that the Nashville Fairgrounds was going to put on a heck of a show here tonight with racing room for 3 wide racing action. We've seen 2 wide. We've seen 3 wide on that restart just a little bit ago. Valves out to the outside there. The Canadian Invasion crew getting passed by car 54. Now here comes the big Johnson. Number 98 Ohio, Chris Stump. Stump will take the spot. I think it is first start of the season. What does the race lead look like right now? Well, there is the Austin Designs number 2 of Brian Hacker leading the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen. Trevarthen running in second after setting the quick time in our qualifying session. And then Williamson about, a tractor trailer length back. Before finding A.J. Hamill, who's 2 tractor trailer lengths back. Everybody pretty much inside the top 10 has single file themselves out. They're just in a good little pace right now. Stout rolling in on now Arnold in car number 51. Stout right to the back bumper in the middle of 3 and 4. They'll take the bid to the inside now. How much does Arnold want to battle for the spot here on lap number 36? He has the outside, and we've seen the majority of the passes here tonight done on the outside. The switch tire, number 51, though, will fall back into the 13th spot now, with Stout gaining another one. Trey Mitz has fallen back now into the 19th spot as he's got Joshua Buckley, who's wrapped up in that first caution flag of the night. So the Granny Hips, Walkers, and Canes landing strip entry will go ahead and take the 18th spot. Now he's trying to work his way back through. Aiden Alvecchio back here. He had some problems in his practice session a little while ago. Took him all 60 minutes pretty much to get a lap turn for car 271. Driver not having force feedback here tonight. Force feedback very important when you come to the track like this, where you gotta feel the bumps and how the car reacts. And right now, Aiden qualified into the 20th spot in 271, still continuing to run back here. 20th spot right now for Aiden Alvecchio. He's a second half driver, and we're 10 laps away from the second half of this race. Two drivers down on pit road. Mike Tashro and Dan Murphy Jr. have yet to come back out onto the raceway. And no problems. Problems for the number 40 of Rob Higgins. The Cowboy has gone around here. The Big Johnsons, number 98, and Chris Stump also involved, and I believe that is Philly Edwards in the number 73, the U.S. Air Force hipster, as it is. Let's take a look. They were all running nose to tail inside the top 10. Stump went to the inside. Higgins went to block a little bit. And then the Big Johnsons, number 98, Ohio. So a bad trajectory into turn number 1. That Johnson was out of control. Got down on the apron, and that car was just not going to turn. Philly Edwards was right there. Right on board with the Big Johnsons, number 98. Try to drive it. Looking back for Philly Edwards. Second caution flag of the evening here just before the halfway point home. Should be about 48 laps in the books by the time we go back. Green flag racing here tonight, so just 2 away from the halfway point. It should just about read. Drivers taking the advantage to come to pit road right now. Dan Butler, Philly Edwards down on pit road. He's back out onto the raceway. Mark Jenkins is down there, and it looks like Rex Hoyle has gotten significant damage on the Culpeppers Bakery Cafe. Entry, there you see that Ford rolling away, the Colony Tire and Service Center entry. A bunch of damage to that Ford. We will go a lap down too, unfortunately. The race leaders, a bunch of drivers going laps down here. It looks like Trey Mitz, Dan Butler, Rex Hoyle, Philly Edwards. So the scoring a little bit jumbled up right now. We'll see these drivers can, well, get funneled back into where they should be lined up. Two by two is how we pace, so that means we're getting ready to go back racing. It will be Hacker to the outside, Trevarthen to the inside, Williamson inside row number 2, and A.J. Hamill back there into row 2 to the outside. Then 2 Canadians, Dave Bragg and Scott Duncan. Ready to go. Great start by Brian Hacker. He'll pick up right where he left off in the race lead. Dave Bragg, Scott Duncan will be the first side-by-side duo. So hold on to her, Duncan. He was trying to give it all she had, Captain. He was into the outside wall out of turn 2, the problem spot here tonight. Out of turn 2 again, the number 989 of Scott Duncan, hard into the outside wall that time, and he'll have to concede the position. Dave Bragg will take it back. And man, we just talked about this driver, race fans. Look where he's at now. Aidan Alvecchio knocking on the door to the top 10, just at the halfway point. Scott Duncan around third consecutive lap that he's hit the outside wall out of turn 2. And he'll collect a couple of them. That is going to be Eric Stout down there. He is involved. I believe that's car 14. It is. Brian Bianchi, the Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe entry, involved. Brandon Feeney in car number 38 was involved. You see him in the Liquid Molly entry just coming back around. Tons of damage to the driver from Ontario, Canada's car. Where did this one all develop? Let's go and watch. There's Duncan into the outside wall and everybody trying to escape, and unfortunately Bianchi and Stout choosing the inside lane, and it all funneled up. Right on board here with Scott Duncan. He heard the car get tight, he lifted out of it. And then he knew he was in trouble. In front of the field as he was running inside the top 5. Right on board here with Eric Stout. The Big Johnson's number 98 of Chris Stump also getting a little piece of that as he tried to get by the wreck. Oh, and the 0-1 of A.J. Watkins. So all the carnage happening outside the top 5. The top 5, though, not changing. Still Hacker, Trevarthen, Williamson, Hamill, and Bragg. A couple drivers picking up some spots there. Stephen Dickey Jr., remember him? He went for a little bit of a, well, up the hill ride earlier in car number 98, and he was able to corral it. So he's actually now in the 7th position. Joshua Buckley just behind him. He was wrapped up in a wreck earlier. He did start inside the top 10, fell all the way back as low as the 24th position. Now Buckley is sitting there running in the 8th spot. Aiden Alvecchione in car number 271. We talked about his woes starting back in the 20th spot. Now worked his way inside the top 10. And Rob Higgins in the number 40 after going around in the last caution flag. Cowboy has lassoed his way into the 10th spot. And there's Bob Higgins in the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, celebrating 20 years in business up there in Ayer, Massachusetts. If you stop on by the Checkered Flag Auto Supply in the next couple of weeks, if you find Josh Buckley there, he's got a prize for anybody that stops in. It's an undisclosed prize. I'm not allowed to tell you, but make sure you head on up to the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, see Bob Higgins, and find where Joshua Buckley is hiding. Pace car ready to go to pit road, though, so we'll go back racing. 56 in the books here at Nashville, and Hacker will sing the tune to the outside. See if he's got that real instrument dialed in, toned in here tonight. And he does. He is clear into the race lead with Michael Trevarthen back there battling now to keep second. Here comes the Mr. Confusion entry. A.J. Hamill, the driver of the Arts Barbershop. Oh boy, hang on to her, Mike. The big wiggle had a big wiggle. Dalton Williamson making a little bit of a move back there. Car looks like it's a little unstable down the straightaways. Last time down the back straightaway, definitely looked it. And Brian Hacker has the biggest race lead he has had all night long. It's just over a half a second. Oh, leaning on each other for that second spot. Teammates into it. Oh, A.J. Hamill to the inside wall. The second, third, fourth. Oh, and a big one. Michael Trevarthen around. Dalton Williamson is still barrel rolling down the straightaway there. And I believe the two car, Trevarthen now crab walking. That car will be done here tonight. Second, third, and fourth involved in a big one here on lap number 62. Watch it. They all get hooked together. We talked about the Williamson car looking unstable down the straightaways, and right there you saw it into the 2, hooking the 2 into the 18. And then Josh Buckley nowhere to go. Aiden Alvecchione just squeaking through. Brandon Feeney getting involved also. See all the cars coming in, nobody having anywhere to go as they're all barreling down the straightaways. Right on board with Racer X. Little contact to the quarter panels there. Nothing should be really all that knocked out of tow for Greg June. Half the field right now down on pit road trying to get some kind of service done to their late model stocks here. We still have over 30 laps remaining here at Nashville tonight. Looks like Scott Duncan has called it a night. So has Brian Bianchi. He is done here. Dalton Williamson also now going to call it an evening in car number 1. Wait to see which drivers are able to come back out onto the speedway. Which drivers might have to just keep it back behind the wall here. Joshua Buckley lined up ready to come back out. It looks like the 99 Mark Jenkins will make his way back out onto the raceway. He was wrapped up in this wreck. Looks like we should have about 11 cars left on the lead lap here. As you see the 40 of Higgins coming back out onto the raceway. He should be the 11th place driver. So it should be Brian Hacker, Dave Bragg, Stephen Dickey Jr., Arnold Vowles, Greg June, Dan Butler, Aiden Alvecchio, Bob Higgins, AJ Watkins, Steve McCormick, and Rob Higgins on the lead lap. Brandon Feeney is back out. He's a lap down in car number 38. Mark Jenkins a lap down. He's back out. Rex Hoyle multiple laps down along with Philly Edwards. They're out there. Eric Stout multiple laps down. He's back out there. Here we go. It'll be 66 completed. Back into the restart zone as we're back racing. Does anybody have anything left for Brian Hacker? Here comes Stephen Dickey Jr. to the outside of Dave Bragg. Oh, Dickey Jr. into the outside wall out of turn 2. That's not the first time we've seen the 98 grab a little piece of the concrete. Pushing hard, he'll swing into the second position. Hacker just turned the fastest lap of the race here, lap number 68. Dan Butler up inside the top 5 now, but he's got Aiden Alvecchio right there. Can he hang on? Dan having a great qualifying effort on Monday night, now trying to back it up with a great run here tonight at Nashville. Trey Mitz looks like he's going to bring car 9 to the pit road. Eric Stout having some problems also in car number 12. Higgins back here running 11, trying to get around Steve McCormick. McCormick riding the high lane. Nothing changed out front. It's still Hacker. It's still Stephen Dickey Jr. and Dave Bragg running in third. Rob Higgins will get ahead of McCormick. Now he'll set his sights upon car number 30, and that is Bob Higgins. Higgins up 17 spots in car number 30. He's working on AJ Watkins. There you see the driver out of Florida. The 01's got a little damage on the left front nose piece. Got that at wreck number 2 tonight. Bob's got to get going because he's got Rob hanging on the back tail panel now. Joshua Buckley back out onto the raceway. Being scored in 17th. Bob going to go up the raceway. He'll let little Robbie get on through. There's the distance, though, the deficit. Hacker to Dickey. Bragg's right there. Fowles is right there also. 25 more laps around. Oh, Dickey down onto the apron that time. And, oh, Dave Bragg gonna... Well, he tangled with the outside wall, and he was able to jive his way out of it. Dancing with the devil being the turn 2 wall here tonight. Hacker trying to get around the lap car, the 99. He'll be able to clear Jenkins. Rob Higgins on the move again, trying to pounce on the 01 of AJ Watkins. Watkins a little sideways out of 2. Now here comes the 30 of Bob Higgins. Bob's been having a heck of a season so far here in the early portion of the racing calendar. Podium finish this year already. And another top 10 run going today. Holy shamoly, Brian Hacker has opened up a 1.8 second race lead right now over Stephen Dickey Jr. The biggest race lead we have seen all night long. Steve McCormick now trying to get around A.J. Watkins. That car is sounding like every time Watkins comes past the booth here, sounding like a bunch of blind plumbers hammering on pipes. Car down on power, definitely struggling to try and make it to the end of this one. Stephen Dickey Jr. flirted with the outside wall that time out of turn number 4. I wonder how much tire is left on the right front of Dave Bragg's machine. He's been pushing that car pretty hard here tonight. How about the rookie, Arnold? There's that switch tire. 51 here tonight. Miles is right there and trying to find himself onto the podium for the first time ever, just in his 3rd race. But the Storm Magnet's right there. Aiden Alvecchione's right there. Aiden picking up a podium in the season opener this year also. Finished 11th last week at Irwindale, 2nd back at Phoenix. Arnold taking a bid to the inside on Dave. Not going to be able to make anything happen. Can't really stick the nose. Everybody working up on the 38 of Brandon Feedy. Feedy will go to the outside lane, give all the race leaders the inside advantage. Greg June falling back off the pack here a little bit. Car number 5, we talked about him making his first start with the series here tonight at Nashville. Ran himself a fairly clean race, a little scrape to that right front fender coming in a wreck, tried to avoid. Pretty much right now, everybody racing for 2nd because that Hacker machine was hacking up the field here tonight. Arnold opened up the inside. Here comes the 21. The Storm Magnet trying to pounce to pick up a spot late. Bob trying to get back around Rob. It's the Higgins and Higgins show for the 8th and 9th position. And McCormick is right there also. Drag race at the line, and the scoring loop going to give Bob Higgins a spot as Robbie's up the raceway. Here comes McCormick now. Riding on board with the Checkered Flag Auto Supply. Number 30, so now Bob Higgins picking up the 8th spot. McCormick picking up 9th, forcing Robbie back into the 10th spot. Butler with 10 laps to go. That time the double high fives going up into the air. Dan Butler trying to get that 4th spot. Butler works the bottom. He slid off the bottom of the racetrack, and then that also going to force Miles up the raceway, and now Aiden Alvecchione's starting to smell blood in the water with car number 51. Could Aiden pick up another top 5 here tonight before we leave Nashville? Joshua Buckley said it was going to be Aiden's night here tonight, and he wasn't lying, having himself a really good run. Looks like Greg June has now found another gear. He is closed in on the back. One driver coming out of pit road there. That'll be number 41 of Dan Murphy Jr., seeing if he can pick up any spots here tonight late. Rex Hoyle works the outside. He'll stay out of everybody's way. Great run, great turn off turn 4 there for the 271. Not going to have the momentum to keep it there. Arnold holds the spot. 6 to go. Hacker Saul at the line. Aiden closing in on that inside, making it work. Contact. Oh boy. Oh, Greg June gonna go into the inside wall. He was taking a bid to the inside, and then all of a sudden, a little contact from Malvecchione to Valls, and now June gonna come to pit road. 5 to go, though. A night that could have been for the rookie of Greg June, making his first ever start with the series. Trying to get a top 5, now going to end up buried deep into the field with just 4 laps to go. There he is, Huntley, Illinois. Brian Hacker trying to lap the 0-1 of A.J. Watkins, who's just trying to limp it back around here to finish this one off. Got to leave 9 cars left on the lead lap. The old popsicle sticks, wind them up, toss them up. Going to be 2 to go here for Brian Hacker. We talked about stats a couple weeks ago, and Brian Hacker's name came up. He's 4th overall on all-time wins, as he'll pick up the Culpepper's Bakery Cafe white flag just one more time around the Speedway. Mark Jenkins will go another lap down here. Final trip down the back straightaway. Brian Hacker will have this one, so it'll be Brian Hacker picking up his 9th win. Stephen Dickey Jr. in the battle back here for 3rd, the final podium spot. Who will have it? It'll be Dan Butler. Getting turned around, and he'll 360 kick flip, and he'll hold that 3rd spot. Dave Bragg will finish in 4th with Arnold back there. Valls finishing there in the 5th spot. Aiden Malvecchione in 6th, Steve McCormick in 7th, Bob Higgins in 8th, Rob Higgins back in 9th, and A.J. Watkins rounding out the top 10. There he is, your winner here tonight at Nashville. The number 2, Austin Designs Carbon Junction entry of Brian Hacker. Take a quick step away here from Nashville, and we'll be back with the top 3 unofficial finishers.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was always fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos or danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all will be kept in the pits. Not to mention that with members in over 130 countries already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series and work your way up to one of 7 world championships, offering over $500,000 in prize money. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Welcome back here to the Nashville Fairgrounds tonight, race fans, as we just put 100 laps in the books, and we had one for the ages. We had wrecks like we were at the Daytona International Speedway, and we had wrecks like we were at the little tight bull ring of Oxford, but it was really tonight here at Nashville. These drivers were singing a tune here tonight, and all of them were trying to catch this driver that was out front here tonight at the end of it. Brian Hacker will pick up the win. Let's head trackside to talk to the driver of car number 2. Hacker, a great run for you and your group. You unloaded fast here as that outside lane looked to be pretty dominant for you guys, and then you just kind of walked away with the show.
Yeah, it's unfortunate what happened behind us. felt pretty good here. I'm pretty good at this track. I like coming here. It's fast, but it's not just hammered down. It's a little technical. It looked like I was running a slightly different line than at least the guys that were within mirror shot of me at the beginning of the race there. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it or not, but I was honestly just trying to save my stuff, knowing that the end of the race might get a little hairy. So when there was that big one behind us, it unfortunate, and AJ and Chris got caught up in some stuff, and hate to see it for them, but it kind of gave us a chance to really strut our stuff a little bit and stretch it.
You were able to stretch it out there. You had a huge lead at the end of it. Did you know how big of a lead you had coming to the end of this one?
I was kind of keeping an eye, but more or less I was trying to watch. We were running into a fair amount of lap traffic and just didn't want to get caught up in something silly that was unnecessary. So I knew I had a little bit of a buffer there. So I gave a few guys a little bit more room than maybe I needed to, or I would have if it were closer. But it's don't get me wrong, I love winning. It's a blast to win, but I really wish we could have duked it out with some of the guys that were really strong there up front at the beginning of the race.
So now this win here tonight will put you closer back to a tie with AJ Hamill. He picked up his 10th win the other week. Now this is your 9th win. What's it going to take now to put this car back in victory lane and maybe tie the old confused guy out there?
Well, I think the good news is that this car is probably my least preferred of the 4 that we run. So to get a win in it is good. I think next week we're in the street stock, and I know I have a lot more laps there. I have a lot more laps in the street stock than AJ does. He might have more laps than I do there, but he's kind of alluded that I'm the street stock guy of the team, and he's the late model and SK guy of the team, and so hopefully that can stand true next week too.
Well, we look forward to watching that battle between the two of you, but tonight you out-battled everybody and picked up the win here, so we'll roll the red carpet out here for the first time this season. It is Brian Hacker in victory lane, and, well, the microphone is now yours.
The hood of this thing is Austin Designs. He's put together some good-looking rides for me for many years now, but all 4 that I'm going to be running in this series are from his hand and his designs. He's a pretty creative guy. If anyone's out there looking for a new wrap, they can get a hold of me or get a hold of Scott Austin directly, and he's pretty quick turnaround. He's reasonable and really good eye at putting this stuff together, so shout out to him first and foremost. Carbon Junction, who's been with us for a long time now. Aberdeen Lodge, Narrative Coffee, you for coming out and doing this, and Buckley and Stout and the crew. I think Higgins as well. I think those are the 3 admins, correct me if I'm wrong, for putting this thing on. And Checkered Flag Auto Supply as always.
There you hear from the winner here tonight. Brian Hacker will pick up that spot, as he will now pick up his 9th career win with the series here on Thursday night. See if he can continue to climb that win list here on Thursday nights in the coming weeks. Finishing inside the top 3 here tonight for the first time on Thursday night, Stephen Dickey Jr. will bring car number 98 across the line. Steve, a good race here for you in this number 98, but you had to work for it. At one point, that car was pointed towards the inside wall, and it looked like it might have been, well, an ending, but you were able to hang on to it.
Yeah, my buddy Dan, they got me in this league, spots for me on a normal basis, and he's like, oh, let's start in the back and not qualify. And next thing I know, he's starting in the middle of the pack, and I'm out laying in the back by myself. But was able to work my way up through. I think I was up to about 12th when I got turned sideways like that. But through some adversity, I was able to get in a. Don't know how I ended up there, being 22nd in practice, but overall good run.
Now, I'm not sure if you know this, but listening to Dan has never done any right for me. So, I mean, did we learn anything about listening to Dan here tonight?
I don't know what you mean by that, but if you're talking about Dan Murphy, he's actually an amazing spotter for as little as he speaks on here.
Well, he's a good man out there, only joking with Dan. I get to race with him occasionally here, but a great run for you here tonight as you do finish in the second spot. You have picked up the most spots here tonight. How was the car at the end of this? Did you need a restart to maybe try and go get Hacker up there?
Yeah, I had nothing for him. I was able to pass on the outside. I tend to do really good on restarts, so I was able to get the second, but I had nothing for Hacker.
Well, a great run for you nonetheless here tonight, Steve. A great run for yourself. Who's on the quarter panels that make everything back home go in circles?
Well, this happens to be the only paint scheme. I don't have painted for the league, but I got to thank USA Insulation. They're the ones that keep my regular racing program going, and that's about it.
Well, there you have it, Stephen Dickey Jr. here tonight, coming across the line, P number 2, picking up 23 spots to finish on the podium. Congratulations to him, and I would wrap things up, but Dan Butler sitting over here waving at me. And Dan, a great finish here tonight for you guys in car number 21. You kind of battled through tonight. It was silent for you a lot of the night, and then all of a sudden you sprung at the end.
Yeah, man, it's so good to finally talk to you, Roger. But yeah, it was, I think I started, another zip code behind everybody else. 21st, I think I started. Just having bad luck in qualifying this year, but yeah, just able to finally avoid some wrecks. Got the monkey off my back there, and I was there at the end. I think I pitted just at the right time for tires, and I was kind of surprised. I had more than I thought left at the end. I was picking some cars off in the end. It felt pretty good for once to finish one and people be here on Turn 3 Racing Network.
Well, you finished tonight off, but coming across the line, there was a little rubbing out of turn 4. What were you thinking coming to the finish of this one?
Yeah, I'll let the admins take a look at that. I run everybody clean here in the last, I don't know, 3-4 laps. I don't know if you follow or not, but man, I kept getting underneath and I was trying to give all the room I could, but we had 5 to go or so. Never touched once. Finally got underneath, and there was quite a bit of blocking there, and I finally just got under it, and I wasn't lifting that time. Came out of turn 4. I was pointed straight. Next thing I know, I'm turning sideways, but I got third. I'm thrilled. Nothing against Dave there. I'm sure he was running hard for a podium too, but shoot, I wanted this one bad. It's been a long time. This is a win for me.
It's been a long time, but this year we've noticed something brand new on your car, and is that helping out? You got a couple handprints there.
Yes,
right along with you now.
Noticed that the other night. You mentioned that. I appreciate that. It was pretty cool that you noticed that. That's my girls, Ellie and Dakota. Dakota just turned 10 last Friday. Ellie's 3, going on 21, I think. But yeah, they're a big part of everything I do with cars, muscle cars, race cars, whatever. So I wanted to include them. This is actually a throwback. I used to run go-karts, and this was my original paint scheme way back in the day. So I've had nothing but crap luck the last few years, so I'm going back to my roots. You'll see the tiger stripes all year on Monday nights and Thursday nights, and so far it seems to be good luck.
Well, it was good luck definitely the last couple of weeks, and good luck tonight. So before we let you go, who do you got to shout out back home?
Yeah, I want to. My family watches every week, watches me run around the back. It's kind of cool to, hopefully they're cheering at home. I got my mom and stepdad down in Florida. They watch you every week, and they watch you on Monday nights now. My sister, she watches also. I want to thank the racing school, Mike, for what he does out there at Thompson, and obviously my girls. And thank you for what you do. Best broadcaster out there.
Well, there you have it. He's trying to butter me up, race fans, but it ain't gonna work. Dan Butler here tonight will come across the line sideways, but he will finish in P number 3. So a great night for Dan Butler and his whole crew out there watching. They're out there in chat supporting the 21. So your top 3 finishes, you just heard from them. Brian Hacker, of course, making tonight's race, well, all about him. He picks up the win, his 9th career win with the series. Stephen Dickey Jr. with his first podium of the series. 23 spots, he was the biggest mover of the race. And Dan Butler close to being the biggest mover. It was only 18 spots for him to come across the line in 3rd. Dave Bragg was back there into the 4th, and then one of those Canadian invaders, car number 51 of Arnold Valls, he was the 5th place driver here tonight. Aiden Alvecchione and his brigade will come across 6th, then Steve McCormick in 7th, Bob Higgins in 8th. So I'm sure Rob and, Mr. Buckley will be fighting over who's stacking the battery pallet this week at the Checkered Flag Auto Supply. AJ Watkins then will round out the top 10 finishers. Those are your unofficial top 10 standings here tonight at Nashville. Well, so Nashville's in the books. Where do we go next is the question. Well, it's going to be another great race because, well, we've already been to Irwindale, we've been to Phoenix, we've been right here at Nashville, and now the series will continue, and we will head to the Oxford Plains Speedway. It'll be Project Confusion Night, where first time we will get out the street stocks on that. Well, it's a circle track, that is for sure. The Oxford Plains Speedway is one of those tricky tracks where you have no outside wall to rely on to keep you inside the ballpark. And of course, the inside, well, there's a curbing down there. You gotta stay away from that. So it'll be interesting to head to the Oxford Plains Speedway for round number 4 here with the series just 1 week from now. So until we see you next week at the Oxford Plains Speedway, race fans, we hope you enjoyed tonight's race here from the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. So for everybody with Checkered Flag Auto Supply, everybody with Red Light Racing, I'm Roger Muth with the Turn 3 Racing Network. And until we see you next time, race fans, everybody stay safe, and we'll see you in Turn 3.